Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Real Estate Matters. For over 11 years, the voice of real estate in Flagler County and Palm Coast, Florida. I'm Toby Tobin. I'm the publisher of GoToby.com, contributor to the Palm Coast Observer, and a Florida licensed realtor with the Landmark Group at Compass. Co-host Anna Maria Long from the Home Builders Association is here in the studio with me today. We have no guests, so it's just the two of us. Good morning.
Good morning.
You were off to another meeting yet. We're recording this Friday morning instead of Thursday afternoon because Anna Maria was off.
I've spent my last 4 days in Hotlanta at the National Association of Home Builders Association Management Conference, where I was elected to the Executive Officers Council Board of Directors.
And that's a national.
That's national.
Wow.
For the National Association of Home Builders, EOC. Yes, I represent Region B for NAHB.
And what is Region B, the Southeast?
Yeah, mostly.
Generally the Southeast. Well, good for you. That's brand news.
Thank you.
Brand new news to me.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
I like to surprise you on air sometimes.
I'm perpetually surprised. Okay, we want to thank our lead sponsor, Veranda Bay. Veranda Bay is a private developing community off John Anderson with lots and luxury homes on the Intercoastal Waterway. And they'll soon be annexing into Flagler Beach. I believe that's already their mailing address.
Believe so.
I think so. And they feature custom homes by Olson Homes, AR Homes by Arthur Ruttenberg, ICI Homes, and Hulbert Homes. And they've just newly opened a couple sections that will have homes by Toll Brothers and Dream Finders. And I understand Toll Brothers' model home is already under construction.
Beautiful. And all of those builders are members of the Flagler Home Builders Association.
And they all have great reputations.
They do.
We're also sponsored by the Flagler County Home Builders Association and by Hammock Community Church on A1A in the Hammock. Did you realize there are only two churches on A1A between South St. Augustine and Ormond Beach?
The Catholic Church isn't on A1A, is
No,
it? Santa Maria Del Mar?
The only other
What's
one
the other
is
one?
the Baptist Church, which is right across the street from Ocean Hill.
No competition there. You just have one side of the road or the other. You're going to church.
Right.
And then to roadies.
Right. So anyway, Hammock Community Church, you can find me there at the 11 o'clock service every week. And if you want to check them out, we're actually installing over the next couple of months some new audio-visual to enhance the online streaming experience.
Oh, fun.
So people will be able to actually attend the Hammock Community Church services without having to pay the toll over the bridge.
That is an important feature.
Yeah, well, it's another $3 that could have gone into the collection plate.
Or 75 cents if you
have a sticker.
If you get the card, yeah.
Here, let's talk about August results. This is month to date. So far, 135 homes have been sold via the Flagler County MLS. The median price is $375.2. That's an amazingly high, solid number, given the fact that everybody thinks our local market is in the doldrums.
The sky is not falling.
Well, there are a lot of negative signs in the market,
yeah.
but still, there's obviously a support base of the market that we seem to have reached, and prices are unlikely to go down substantially from where they are right now. Just for comparison, the 375.2 compares to 355 for August last year. So year over year, August to August.
More than $20,000.
We're substantially ahead of last year.
Yeah.
But one of the things I noticed this month so far is, if you listen to the show regularly, we track the 250,000 and under market and the $1 million and over market, the two ends of the market, because they've been unusually active over the last year.
They sure have.
Low days on market, substantial number of homes in those segments.
And significant cash buyers.
And yes, a significant number of cash buyers. Well, both of those markets are substantially off so far in August.
Yes.
Only 4 homes so far have sold for $250,000 or under. 3 of those were for cash, signifying they're probably investors. But only $3 million plus homes, and only 1 of those is for cash. So, again, it's just part of 1 month.
Right. We'll have to see what happens.
We have to be careful not to jump to conclusions. But if this trend were to continue, it would signal to me that the middle market is rebounding.
Mm-hmm. It's getting healthy.
Yeah, and the middle market is probably more dominated by existing inventory.
It is.
Yeah, the percentage of homes sold that are new construction is down. The percentage of homes that are in the under contract category that are new construction is down. Not too many months ago, the new construction category amounted to or comprised in the mid to high 30s and even early 40% of the market in that segment.
Well, we had to make up for the housing inventory that was lost in 2020 and 2021 when people were eating up the existing home inventory. So we had to build the new construction. We keep talking about a slowdown in sales or a slowdown in new construction. And I always wonder, is it a slowdown or is it a balancing act from the huge increase we saw in 2020 and 2021?
Are we just returning to a normal market?
Are we getting back to normal? Is this balance?
The problem is that normal is hard to define because
in general, with people, the housing market.
You've heard the expression, everything else being equal, then, well, nothing ever stays the same. There are always new variables coming in and old variables leaving the market.
But we had several years that were steady.
Well, the annual increase in the median selling price from pre-COVID through a couple of years is unsustainable.
Right. Absolutely.
You just can't. And in a sense, that's about the only thing that mirrors the early 2000s market. That you can't build a business model or make assumptions on an ever increasing market.
Right.
Because the market historically has always gone through periods of correction. So homes listed 1,375, and interestingly, that is exactly 6 months of inventory, not 5.9 months, not 6.1 months, 6.0 months. And I stress that because I Googled what is a normal market in number of months of inventory, and the reply from Google was 6.0.
Specifically, 0.0.
Not 5.9 or 6.1. So, and of the homes listed, 1,375, and what I quote is, these are homes that have been listed within the last 90 days. Only 6 homes, in addition to that, have been listed for over 3 months. So
that's good.
That's surprising. You're seeing very, very few of the 371 days on market homes. Homes pending, 328. That's a fairly healthy number compared to recent numbers. But here's another interesting fact. The median price of the homes pending, $385.5.
And our rule is 90%? 98%. 98%.
Where the sold homes, the statistics show the percentage of the list price. Now, that's the current list price, not the original list price. So there could have been one or more price drops along the way, but the actual closing price is running 98% of the list price at the time of contract. So if you take These are already under contract now. So if you take the 385.5, multiply it times 0.98, you still end up with a good, healthy number. And the reason that's important is because the pending homes are the ones that are going to be closing over the next month or two.
Yes.
So
they will become our new median.
Yeah. Then, unfortunately, in the real estate world or home builder world, there aren't very many forward-looking indicators. No. We always look backwards. When you look at homes sold, you're really looking at homes closed, deals closed, because the actual contract was likely signed 45 to 60 days earlier.
Easily.
So, if you look at median price for August, that's really June, July deals. Mm-hmm. So, and if the market's not moving, that's not all that important.
Right.
But the market's always moving. Sometimes it just moves slower. 41 permits applied for in Palm Coast. That's almost double. That's still a low number, but it's almost double what it was just a week ago. And 42 permits issued. And again, almost double what it was just a week ago. So why do you think it appears that the builders are starting to pull more permits again? Do you think?
Well, the builders respond to demand. That period. So when people say the builders are building too much, well, the demand is high. And if the demand is low, then they stop. So we saw them pull back. That means the demand pulled back, which all the data that we provide also showed that. Now we're showing it be a little bit healthier, and they're responding to that as well.
Good. Well, we have to take a break in a minute, but I just want to mention one of the numbers. This is a statistic that I actually started tracking and gave a name to several years ago called the Gindex. And I named it after Bobby Ginn, who had a profound impact on our local market. And the Gindex is the ratio between the number of homes listed and the number of homes pending. And normally it's runs in a normal market, I would say it's in the 2.5 to 3 range. More recently, a couple of months ago, it hit 4.9, which is unusually high. But so far, right now, it's down to 4.2. So that's
we're getting closer.
That's an indication that the market is turning.
And the builders are responding appropriately.
Good. Okay, folks, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Ken Belshie at Veranda Bay, inviting you to see over 40 new, never-released home sites. Phase 1 sold out in record time, so don't miss your chance on Phase 2. All home sites have planned water access with resort-style amenities. These are big, estate-sized lots. Schedule your private showing now at verandabay.com.
On the water, beyond belief, Veranda Bay.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second half of Real Estate Matters. Thanks for staying with us. We were talking earlier about the market month to date, so let's move on to something else, as we usually do in the second half, if we have time. One of the things that recently came out is some visitation estimates. Tourism has always been a major industry in Florida and always will. I mean, that's why we call
Disney.
it the Sunshine State. That's why Disney and the theme parks are in Florida, and they're not in Michigan. But some interesting numbers. Again, we're seeing some trends. An estimated 34.4 million travelers visited Florida in the second quarter of 2025. And domestic visitors made up 91.5% of the total overseas visitors 6.7%, and Canadian visitors 1.9%. But then later on in the study, they show that the number of Canadian visitors is down. Apparently, some of the Canadians don't like being referred to as the 51st state.
Yes, I understand that many Canadians are boycotting the United States for their travel, which there was, I believe previously Canada had spent like spring breaks typically coming to Florida, I think specifically, as many do for their spring breaks.
Florida more than any other state.
Yeah, which, I mean, why not?
So anyway, with the number of, well, I guess what I'm trying to lead up to is the tourism industry is showing solid health in Florida, and that's a very good sign. If I shudder to think what will happen to the market, will we be able to handle it if Mondani gets elected as mayor of New York City?
Well, what do you think would happen to Trent? Do you think that will affect the...
I think more people will leave the New York area
and then come live here?
And move south.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I do.
I see the note about the airports, and I've been really pleased to see so many different airlines and offerings coming to the Daytona Beach International Airport. And I see Punta Gorda and St. Pete Clearwater mentioned as well. I think that is, for me personally, I think that's fantastic, because for like work travel, I hate flying out of Orlando. Like, I will do almost anything to avoid flying out of Orlando. But when I can fly out of Daytona and it does not cost me an arm and a leg, I'm the happiest person.
My wife used to work at the Daytona airport for several years. She retired from there.
It's the best. It's the best.
It's
in and out.
It's a really neat little airport.
It is.
The little things that, well, first of all, you can walk from long-term parking to the terminal in like 5 minutes.
I know. And as someone who's habitually late to things, as you know, I mean, that is really key. Sanford's a close second.
Yeah, one of the things that Shirley was responsible for was that at the gate, if you are, let's say you have something that you're not supposed to carry on a plane. The airport, if you leave your name and address, the airport at their expense they don't throw it away or sell it. They'll send it back to you.
I don't think they do that anymore, Toby.
Does it?
No, I think they throw it in the trash can.
Oh, we'll see. I don't know.
I've seen a lot of
Shirley's
things confiscated at
about
TSA,
4 or 5 years.
like full bottles of hairspray and shampoo and conditioner. And
I don't know if they did it with liquids and such, but
I've seen lots of things trashed because people don't follow rules.
Anyway, it's a neat airport.
Probably very nice.
And it's different than the big ones.
It is.
Okay. We had an interesting city council meeting this last week.
And not interesting in the usual way. Interesting in an actually informative and proper way.
Yeah.
Without any drama.
and what they were trying to clarify, there was a presentation where they were trying to clarify a lot of misinformation.
Yeah, we had some debunked lies. And that is the common statement of, there are 19,000 houses in the pipeline.
In the pipeline. We don't have
in the pipeline. We debunked, the staff rather debunked it. And that's not true, because what we actually learned from city staff, which I was really pleased to have this presented, because it meant that I didn't have to do any public records requests or research. So it was especially pleasing and surprising. So there are 18,883 remaining units. But only 13,335 of those have a final plat and technical site plan, leaving about 5,200 in some other stage of development.
Yeah.
But what I thought was the most interesting, because we keep hearing that, this last city council or the one just before that, that they're the ones that ruined everything. Well, I'll have you know, 7,080 of those houses in the pipeline are from remaining ITT lots from 1977.
Yeah. So that's almost 50 years ago.
And I bet all the people complaining didn't live here in 1977.
No, and
I'll just say that.
and it's going to take some number of years to flush out those 7,000 lots.
Yeah, if they even get built.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a big if. Some of them can't get built on, and some of them just won't get built on.
Mm-hmm. So in the town center DRI, and everybody knows where town center is, that was approved in 2004. There are 1,820
That would be
units.
21 years ago.
21
Town
years
Center
ago.
DRI can now officially buy alcohol.
And
Took a minute, but we got there.
Leave it to a millennial to note that. And then the Palm Coast DRI, which really is both sides of US 1 from Palm Coast Parkway up to Old Kings Road, the Egg Museum, also approved in 2004. There are 3,104 units there, which may be an overstatement. One of the things that this presentation did is it actually uncovered some erroneous numbers that have been thrown around as being for sure numbers,
right.
Solid numbers, and a lot of them are less solid.
The good news is that they're estimating too high, not too low.
Mm-hmm.
The city, these numbers are estimating too high.
Right. But then the other thing is
But just for a pause, we're at 12,000 right now from 1977 and 2004.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Then total dwelling units in the pipeline, 18,000, as you mentioned, but the number remaining is only 13,000. So they shouldn't be throwing the 18,000 number around.
Yeah, because those other five,
accurate.
Right? Yeah, right. Because those other five are in another stage of development, and I think the most important thing to learn, based on those years that we just said about, and hopefully these graphics can make it into the Flagler Beach TV video podcast that we have. When we say these things are not getting built tomorrow, I don't think I can say it any more clearly or loudly than 1977 and 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still not built.
Mm-hmm.
They're just approved.
Mm-hmm.
They are entitled. That means it's literally entitled. They are able to be built.
You can go get a building permit on them tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But
doesn't mean anything's happening.
Doesn't mean everybody does.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay, and then they related that to the capacity of the wastewater treatment plants, Plant 1 and Plant 2. And it turns out that with those newly disclosed numbers, we are not over capacity.
Right.
There is excess capacity. It's imbalanced. Wastewater treatment plant 1 is suffering some capacity issues. 2 has just been expanded.
So now it has extra.
So it's got extra capacity. And they have the capability to divert some. Yeah,
which they did previously when 2 was over capacity. Mm-hmm. They can divert the water essentially back and forth now, I believe. And there will be additional capacity added that was unplanned just by doing some R&R that's already planned. It was replacing, I don't know, valve or something in the plant. And when they make that replacement, it will coincidentally increase capacity at that plant. So another great thing. I think that'll happen as we go along with the wastewater treatment facilities and just regular R&R, that the products will improve, and it will also improve our capacities.
Mm-hmm. And the previous city councils bear still some blame in not approving budget requests by the
utility asked for this years ago.
Yeah,
yep.
And for several years in a row.
Yeah. Not just this last council, but like multiple councils before that. Sure. Nobody wanted to be the one to take the bite and the blame.
Okay, well, next week I want to talk again a little bit more about homeowners associations, because
our favorite
one of the legislators in Tallahassee is saying that he wants to propose next year's session to eradicate associations, and we'll talk about how.
I can't wait to hear his plan.
Yeah, well, they can't. They're probably going to be about as honest as our former wastewater treatment numbers were honest. So anyway, let's wrap it up.
You can watch Real Estate Matters on YouTube or listen to us on Apple Podcasts. Go to landmarkgroupfla.com and click on Real Estate Matters Podcast in the top navigation bar, or go to the Flagler Beach TV Facebook page.
And remember, if you're thinking of buying or selling a home or commercial property, consider working with me and the rest of the experienced team at Landmark Group Compass. You can reach me at 386-931-7124 or email me at toby@gotoby.com. I'm Toby Tobin, and I approve this show.